What?
Ooh, okay. We're gonna come back to the Mandela effect.
Okay.
You've never heard the Mandela effect?
Continue on with your.
Oh right, yeah, I can hear your music going back. Okay, perfect. All right, so the Mandela effect is essentially people are remembering things differently, like Bernstein Bears. How would you spell Bernstein Bears?
This is still the version.
Yeah. No, that was my intro.
How would I spell Bernstein Bears?
But it was specifically the end that you went STIEN.
Okay.
Or even it's that
hit me.
It'd be like someone being like, "Wait, no, Princess Diana isn't dead. She's fucking ruling England right now."
No, oh God, no! Come on now, she died back in 1998.
That's right, and
1997.
Yes, and
Yeah.
no one is well, I don't think there's anyone stating that. Thank God, that would be a real fucking like holy shit. Okay, maybe either this person is real fucked up, or there might be something to it.
This is a cell phone.
That is not a computer. This is a computer. For those who don't know, that is from the movie Iron Sky. Fucking amazing movie. I fucking love it. The person that they have essentially playing like the president is a perfect representation of Sarah Palin.
Okay. Can I do my
Anyways,
intro now?
Yes.
We'll get into the whole WTF ATTA and real WTF ATTA in just a moment here, okay?
No, I forgot about that. That's
No. You have me intrigued now, so fuck you. We're gonna get into it. All right. So I'm JD.
Yep. Good.
Shut up! I'm JD the Media Jack. This is the Flipside, the finest insanity on your live stream, and where we always speak from the skull. You can follow me all over social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, as well as Mixer. And joining me, as always, on this Monday evening is Eli from WTF ATTA. I live in British Columbia. He lives in Ontario. We are spanning coast to coast of Canada, but we're not limiting our stories or our humor to Canada. If you want to join in on the conversation, by all means, I have the Twitter or the comment page up. You could either comment on his channels, WTF ATTA, or on my channels, the Media Jack, on Twitter. No, not Twitter. YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer.
Yeah.
This is what happens when I go off script.
That's where the magic happens. Just ask any porn star that has gone by a script.
Oh yeah. So you went off script there, Ruby Dallas. There, did I? Any.
But I thought it was important that they knew that this was where Napoleon died.
Yeah, you know you're in trouble when you're learning history from porn. Anyway, now, let's get back into what we're talking about here, because I thought this was a dead issue. WTF ATTA, the originators, you and Chad. Now you are the lone torch bearer of WTF ATTA. You have
only one.
Yeah, you have an incredible loyal following. Unfortunately, there was a hiccup a couple of years ago, but I mean, you are the originators, and then there was these guys somewhere in the States, and bless their silly little souls, they decided to try to bum rush WTF ATTA. They started up a YouTube channel and an Instagram and a Twitter, calling themselves real WTF ATTA.
I'm so confused by that.
But they haven't even been active for like 3 months. So like why is this even a point now?
I went searching the other day for just to see what would come up, right? And their name still popped up on YouTube.
Well, yeah, they would. I mean, hold on.
That's why I was just saying, if you
Let me
get there
look.
and you see it, there's a differentiation. There's the doppelganger Nelson Mandela's.
Yeah.
And then there's the original Mr. T.
There's only one Mr. T.
That's right. There's only one WTF All others are impersonators, fool.
Yeah. So like they haven't been active for 4 months, and like
I imagine they realized what the hell was going on, and they're like, okay, you know what? Maybe this, like, they probably looked at the Twitter account and saw, oh shit, this account was started in 2013.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, they've been around a bit longer than us. Fuck. Okay, let's just rename our shit and fucking forget about the channel.
Well, they still can rename their stuff, and that's fine. But like you can clearly see on their page, which I'm not going to link to anywhere because you can search for them all you want. But they went from having this 3-person talk show with one shitty microphone in the middle of a room and using licensed music, all the way down to one person hosting the show. But he's like, I got this comic book, and this is from Yu-Gi-Oh, and I have a new Pokemon card. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. Like,
Yeah.
like I've seriously been thinking, like, okay, like I have a lot of comic books, right? And as you can see from back here, I have a lot of video games as well. I'm working on video game stuff, but I was seriously contemplating doing a comic book video. I just need to figure out a way to make it fun and entertaining for me to do and for you to watch. So...
Well, see, you have a collection partly for a reason. You review games. I mean, shit. You're gonna collect a few games if you are a reviewer, especially someone who has been doing it as long as you.
Yeah, I've been doing it since 2005.
Mm-hmm. So, but if you're gonna call yourself, what the fuck are they talking about? And all you're gonna talk about is fucking comic books.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
It was not even. It's not even comic book. Like looking at their page right now. Like I don't even know why we're bringing this up. But
yeah, you know what? Let's train wreck this and switch to Humboldt. Let's just fucking train wreck it right now. Pull the fucking emergency cord.
Yeah. Abort. Okay. All right, so something tragic happened on Friday in Canada, and it's nationwide. A lot of people are taking this in a very, very difficult way, rightfully so. Some more than others, especially those in Humboldt, Saskatchewan. And what has happened is there's a very eerie connection here that I'm going to get into in a little bit. But
can I interject?
What?
Is it a Buddy Holly connection? Because I've been feeling like this is like the Canadian Buddy Holly story.
Let me get into it.
Sure.
Okay. So, a hockey team, a junior hockey team, which is 2 levels below the NHL, okay, was in the playoffs, and they were traveling from one city to another, about to go attend Game 6, I believe. No, maybe it was Game 5. And it was in the playoffs, right? A few games into it, and they were traveling northbound on Highway 35. Now, anyone who looks at a map of Saskatchewan will see that it's very much a grid. There are vertical, like latitude roads, and there's longitude roads. It is very much, there's intersections everywhere, and there are major roadways everywhere. Some of them are 2-lane highways, some of them are 4-lane highways, some of them are 6-lane highways. I mean, it is a vast open area. It is Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and parts of Alberta are prairie. So,
and that was a legit crossroads.
Yes, it was. So the team holding, or the bus holding the full team of the Humboldt Broncos, including broadcast crew, bus driver, of course, and coaching staff, was traveling northbound on Highway 35. A tractor trailer, fully loaded, was traveling westbound on Highway 355, went through the intersection, did not stop at a stop sign, and completely broadside T-boned the bus. At this point,
it did T-bone it.
Yes, it did.
Ooh.
At this point in time, I believe the unfortunate death toll is 16, including half of the hockey players, who are all kids. Like we're talking 16 to 20 years old, and that 20 years old is the age cap for the hockey league, right? So we're talking hockey players have died. The head coach passed away, as well as the broadcast on-air personality who was doing play-by-play but also worked for one of the local radio stations, also died, and they're still investigating it. Now, pictures have been released on the crash site, and I actually went to Google Maps, and I think I sent you... What did I send you?
You just sent me the location. I thought it was fucking spam, so I went to Google Maps on my computer and typed in latitude and longitude. Fucking suck. I see him at a fucking crossroads in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck is it? I don't know if I trust this fucking link.
Okay, let me bring up Google Maps, and I can see if I can bring it up on the page. And I'll show you exactly what I know. That way we all understand what's going on here.
It was quite a surprise for me because I had basically taken like 24 hours, almost 48 hours away from all social media, everything.
Yeah.
And so when you told me that, it was like, what? Because you were like, Humboldt. Humboldt pie?
Yeah.
No.
What is this in reference to? Okay, I am trying to find... Okay, so it's close to Tinsdale. I found Highway 35. Now I gotta find Highway 355.
It's in the message you sent me. I imagine you could just click on it.
I think I found it. No, I'm way off. You know, you ever played that game where it's like Google Find or something like that, where you have to Google just plops you down. Sorry?
Geocaching?
Is it geocaching? Is that what it's called?
I know that's something you do with Google Maps.
Well, it's like it plops you down in the middle of nowhere, and you have to figure out where you are through Google Maps. Okay, did I send you on Facebook? I must have.
So just zoom out?
No, that's just it. Is you are on street level using the Google, what you call it? Google View.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
And you have to figure out where you are, and then you can bring up a map any point in time and go, I think I'm Arizona, and it'll, as soon as you make a prediction, it will. It'll zoom out and tell you exactly where you are. Okay, I found the map.
I will only play it if I get paid for it.
Okay, so here's the map.
Hey, you know what? If Zuckerberg is getting paid for my efforts to give likes and clicks and comments, and I put time and effort into those comments, like a journalist, I should be getting some money for that shit. Not as much as a journalist, but I should still be getting some money.
Let me get to this point. Then we'll talk about you getting paid, okay? All right, so we are looking northbound on Highway 35 right here, right?
Okay.
This is the intersection where the accident happened, okay? This here,
blind corner here.
This here is Highway 355, and I'll get close. That's a stop sign. So the truck traveling this direction blew through the stop sign because he was traveling at speed. Now, and T-boned the bus that was coming from this direction. And both of them ended up in this area here. Okay? The only excuse And it's a shitty, weak excuse at all is the truck did not see the bus because of this tree line. But that does not excuse the fact that he went through a stop sign. Also, pictures from the actual crash scene show that there was no brake application from the truck before the intersection.
Oh, fuck. And yeah, because I mean, you see that at the last second, you're gonna fucking hit Jake.
You will lock on the binders and dynamite the brakes.
Yeah, fucking. I was just gonna say dynamite the hell out of fucker.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh yeah, and like you better hope to hell that you can stop immediately. But there's no brake application evidence at all until the middle of the intersection, and by that time it was already too late.
Yeah, fuck. That's only gonna be like what, a 2-foot patch?
Yeah, exactly. So the truck,
when you hit those brakes on those fucking trucks, holy shit, do they ever fucking?
Yeah. The truck hit the front. Okay, so if you're looking at a vehicle, the truck hit in between the middle and front passenger side of the bus, splitting the bus in two, and hence that's why you got the coaching staff, half the team, as well as the I believe the driver also has been killed in this accident. Now, yesterday on CBC there was a vigil from Humboldt inside the hockey arena, and essentially it was to help with the grieving process and get information out as well, and also to pay tribute to the hockey players that had since passed away. It was actually happening on the night and in the arena on the puck drop announced time of what would have been Game 6. So what they were doing, they were leaving Game 5. And
sorry, I got really distracted there. I could have swore that I heard like another set of voices talking under you.
I got the window open.
Was someone loud like 30 seconds ago?
No. Listening to music?
Carry on.
So anyway, it's very tragic, and as of this point in time, the league has not moved forward on any sort of schedule. The entire league has ground to a halt, rightfully so. This is tragic. Yeah. There are 3 different ways of going about this, and one is the entire season gets scrapped, which is unfortunate.
I feel like the people who lost their lives wouldn't want other people to lose their chance.
Yes. The second would be the team that the Humboldt Broncos were in the playoffs with would move on with the caveat of taking on members of the Humboldt Broncos. And the third option, and this has happened before in other sporting events, is there is an emergency draft. And the Humboldt Broncos would draft players from around the league to fill their ranks and then continue on with the series. And that has happened before. There's a movie about that, actually.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a tough fucking call, man.
Emergency.
Especially like to be the people that are going in the emergency draft.
Yeah.
Right, because not only are like there's no connection and there's no team for at least half of the team. Then and the other half is grieving. Right, like I can't see that being conducive to a victory. Now, if it's one team absorbing them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what you said. Option number 2 was.
Yes.
Right. At least there's already the team that exists, so there's a better chance of them merging and being able to go on and proceed to victory. Yeah, and scrapping everything that just helps no one.
No, it doesn't. So those are the options right now, but the whole league in that area of Canada is kind of at a standstill. This is the part where, what was the reference you were making? This is kind of sort of like a, oh Christ, what's that singer? You brought him up. He died in the same plane crash as Richie Valens.
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly. Okay, 1986.
Sorry.
1986 on the Saskatchewan Highway on December 30th at 3:45, the Swift Current Broncos, a Saskatchewan team, suffered a bus crash, killing 4 members of the hockey team. So within 32 years, there have been 2 hockey teams from Saskatchewan, both named the Broncos, that suffered fatal bus accidents.
I don't really mean to be glib, but there is something that's been weighing on me. Like, that area is fucking flat. How the fuck do you not notice there's fucking cars going across the goddamn road?
Okay, so speaking from experienced truck driver, right? I've been very fortunate in the fact that the jobs that I've had in the past, I've been able to tell them, like, I'm too tired to drive, and they go, okay, go home, go to bed. A lot of different situations where you're not supposed to, but there have been times where drivers have been encouraged
we gotta get this order in.
Exactly, right? We promised this customer that it would be here at such and such time. Can you please do this? And I really appreciate it, and blah, 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 blah. Shit like that happens. Also,
you appreciate it, but I just killed 15 fucking people.
Yeah. Also, there have been many documented cases of people getting their Class 1 when they rightfully should not. But all they do is pay under the table for the Class 1. And that was actually quite the epidemic about 4 years ago. So,
the Class 1, I'm assuming that's your semi.
That's the big rig truck. That's a big rig license, yeah.
Okay. In Ontario, it's we have A for big rig, B is bus and shit like that, and but B and D. D is like the fucking big ass Q vans.
Okay.
Anyways, Zed, air brake. Do you have a special classification for air brake?
In British Columbia?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
is it a Zed?
Let me look. I have my wallet right in front of me.
I'm probably the only person with a GZ license. That means general driving with air brakes.
Okay, no. All I have is it doesn't say Z, but on the back of my license it actually says endorsement vehicles with air brakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna bring up my my license onto the camera, but
it's a bit of a procedure though. Fucking going through and like actually checking your brakes, dude. That's something that doesn't get done very well because it's a fucking procedure to check everything.
Yeah.
Every fucking time. Holy, you gotta put in at least what, half an hour to do a good, decent check.
Oh yeah, pre-trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're doing like a full check, that's what, 45 minutes to an hour, because you're actually getting in there and checking the fucking brakes and looking for anywhere, especially on those back brakes, because you don't want those fuckers locking up on you.
No. I've had an axle heat up once, and it's not fun. But
yeah, and you got to worry about brake fade and shit like that too.
Oh yeah. But before we put this story to bed, like, things are still being worked out, and they want to make sure that everything is right. And what will happen with the league? We don't know. What will happen with the driver who escaped the entire accident uninjured?
What?
Which tells me two things. One, he's extremely lucky, or two, he was asleep.
Because he's fucking limp when he hit.
Because when you're about to get into a car accident, right, you stiffen up, because you're worried, right? But if you're limp and you're like nimble and just relaxed or whatever, you are nothing more than a rag doll. And two heavy duty vehicles traveling at speed, fully loaded, and he escapes uninjured tells me that, like I said, either he was lucky or he was asleep.
I would say it's a combination of both.
Well, one's worse than the other.
Yeah. But yeah, because see, if it was a head-on, totally different story.
Yeah.
It's only because it was on the side, and specifically the direction that he was going.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he likely would have hit, and then like he at the last second like and cranked the wheel to the right. That's the first thing you're gonna think, because you want to merge with the traffic that you're going with, because that'll cause the least amount of damage.
Exactly.
Right, and he probably clipped his front end, which whipped his fucking front end right around, and the back end just kind of kept going right into the fucking rig, right into the bus. I imagine.
I don't doubt that at all. It's actually pretty sound logic. Okay, before we move on, do you want the good news? Do you want the good news part of this entire scenario?
Yes.
There is a GoFundMe page for this for the Humboldt Broncos. It is currently sitting at over $4.2 million raised.
Damn.
Yeah, and those go towards the victims and their families, as well as whatever bills may occur in recovery and whatnot. So I mean, that's just utterly incredible. Anyway.
Yeah, because fuck, there's gonna be lost time and everything. Because I mean, shit, if I just lost my daughter.
Yep.
Well, actually, you know what? If I lost my daughter, I'd be going.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Anyway, enough about that. There, we railroaded the one story with the other story. We got that story out of the way. With all due respect, it is something that we do acknowledge and is very sad. And we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Arnie's in trouble. Hopefully he'll pull through. Synthetic pot bleeding. Oh yeah.
The Arnie fucking story. The ending to that is so fucking funny.
Okay, hit me.
Okay. So he ends up having what was it? It was a heart attack, or it was something to do with his heart, and he got rushed into the hospital, and I think he was in a coma for a couple days, something to that effect. I don't remember the story. If you wanna, while I'm giving the ad-libbed version of it,
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Okay.
So he goes in, and finally he wakes up. What does that motherfucker say? But I'm back.
Oh God! Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Okay. There's no place like.
Even if he didn't, I'd still love the idea of him saying that. But I'm as far as I'm aware that he actually did, like, the first thing he said when he came out of it all groggy. I'm back.
Okay. Arnold Schwarzenegger back home after heart surgery.
Heart surgery, that's what it was.
Yes. Arnold Schwarzenegger back home after open heart surgery. The Terminator star, 70 years old, took to social media on Monday to reveal that he had emergency operation following complications during a planned heart valve replacement. I went to sleep expecting to wake up with a bit of a small incision and woke up with a big one, but guess what? I woke up, and that's something to be thankful for. Thank you to doctors and nurses. I'm truly thankful. Doctors quoting in trying to hold back their laughter as when he came out of his sedation, he uttered the words, "I'm back." You know what? Always a showman, right?
Always.
Unlike Bruce Willis, he actually appreciates who he is and how he got there.
Yeah, actually, did you ever watch Fluffy Iglesias?
Gabriel Iglesias? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gabriel
The most recent one.
Iglesias.
The most
Yeah,
recent
thank
one,
you.
yeah. Where he's talking about the fact that he met Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like, yo, hit him. Thank you. He's going across the line. Hey, I know you. You're the comedian. You got the funny joke. The one about how the guy goes into the store to go rob go rob the bank, but everyone's laughing because he has the East Indian accent and they can't understand him. Yeah. I've seen Gabriel Iglesias is hilarious.
He is. Wow, that man is funny.
Yeah.
And his voice is unbelievable.
Oh, he's brilliant. I hope to meet him one day, actually.
Oh God, that would be so fucking amazing. His bit about the Asian lady falling off the balcony.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so funny.
Yeah.
I forgot to breathe.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Fluffy, you're too funny. Now, see this scar right here? You're gonna sue me? No, I no sue. What I do is, I tell my friend go, oh, how you get scar? And I tell them, oh, two guys at once, and a Mexican watched. Credit joke to Gabriel Iglesias because I'm no Carlos Mencia.
The mind of Mencia. Yoink.
yeah, exactly. You know what? I was a fan of that show. His stand-ups were legendary. His skits were a little bit too far out there for me, but his stand-ups were great. But
he was stealing from greats. I mean, the bit you can see like the original joke and the version.
Of all people, he ripped off Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Good. It was a great fucking back in the day. Fucking Bill Cosby's comedy. Holy shit, that was fucking funny.
I owned a couple of his cassettes. Yeah, I know.
Same. I brought you into this world. I can take you out of it. My parents always used to say that to me.
Tell me about the synthetic weed because I've actually been reading up on this. This is quite interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So synthetic pot, also known as spice,
which is
K2.
Fucking weird.
Yeah, I didn't realize that spice was that, and they sell this at oh, fuck off with that ad bullshit. At my local convenience store.
What?
Which I tried to explain to them. I'm like, this isn't actual pot. They're like, yeah, the guy said it's pot. I'm like,
no, it's not.
No, this is not. Let me tell you, you're going to see me come in for a lot of pipes, a lot of bongs, a lot of greens, a lot of other shit.
Yeah, never that
never
shit
see
there.
Me touch that. That is not weed.
No. Anyway.
That is right off the hop. Okay. It looks like it comes inside of a fucking condom wrapper.
Yeah, I see that. I see the example that you have there. I'll bring it up.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm like, wait, you can actually see my screen? How are you seeing my screen?
No, it's in the chat.
Right. All right, so synthetic marijuana contains man-made chemicals that act on the same cell receptors in the brain as THC does in natural marijuana. Manufacturers first started to sell synthetic pot in the early 2000s, marketing them as safe alternatives to marijuana that do not show up on drug tests. Stuff you can only learn at drug school.
Yeah, sure.
They consist of a mix of plant material, herbs or spices, hence the name, that have been sprayed with chemicals to mimic the effects of marijuana and other cannabinoids. But often the chemicals have drastically different and dangerous effects. Spice and K2 can cause seizures, nausea, vomiting, high blood pressure, and erratic and even violent behavior. Well, it turns out that it's added another one to it because there are cases of severe bleeding.
From the eyes and ears.
From the eyes and ears.
Do you know why?
I do not.
I do.
Oh dear.
Okay, so this new strain that has been going around, and ironically enough, 22 cases of people smoking this synthetic pot and having these severe effects of bleeding through the eyes and ears. These 22 cases bought their synthetic pot from one supplier. And that one supplier was making his own home brew synthetic pot. Okay, so you can't really market this shit. But what he was putting blood thinners and ultimately stuff that is mostly found in rat poison.
Far.
into this synthetic pot. Now, keep in mind, this shit is legal. Whereas in a lot of cases, cannabis is still illegal in the United States.
Yeah. And the thing is that they're not even using cannabinoids in there.
No, they're not.
They're using the small little bit that you'll find in, and I mean, when I say small, I mean, we're talking on like parts per billion.
Yeah.
Parts per billion? Yeah. Yeah, like fucking infinitesimal amounts of cannabinoids in there.
Barely traceable amounts.
Yeah, and that's why you would never register on a fucking drug test. There's not enough in there.
You know what? If I found out that there's someone I was working for or someone I wanted to hire, and when I asked them, like, do you smoke marijuana? And they go, no, but I do smoke synthetic weed, I would fucking not hire them at all.
No. That's
I would be happier if you got stoned on weed. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, well, no, okay, yeah. Comparatively, yes, between the two. Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, some people probably shouldn't. It's why I think we need a green driver's license. Right, one that essentially says, yes, you are able to function while high. Then that includes operate motor vehicles.
I can see the argument. But
I can attest to the fact that every accident I have ever been in, I have been fucking stone cold sober. Every time it's been, I quit smoking weed, and it's always on the third fucking month.
That doesn't help.
It's at that point that it's completely out of my system. I'm an aggressive driver.
Oh, so
I am not a good driver.
Yeah, you're an asshole, is what you're saying.
I'm an asshole. Road rage, the whole works. I puff a bowl, I can get behind a tractor, fucking throw on some fucking music. Here comes the sun.
Do 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 do.
Here comes the sun, and I say
enough. You're gonna get us a strike.
What? There's covers all the fucking time.
All right. Okay.
I'm allowed to cover terribly if I want. I do it already, so I'm told.
Mind reading machine can translate thoughts and display them as text.
Fuck.
Is that not an April Fool's joke?
No, that I think is actually legit.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
That is a bad idea. The amount of thoughts I have running through my mind that I cannot vocalize because I'll either get slapped, beat the shit out of, or fired from my job.
Yeah. And who's to say that that's actually that 100% accurate? I mean,
yeah.
Shit. I think a lot of things that I don't actually, like, I'm not going to act on.
Yeah. And sometimes thoughts just are uncontrollable. They just pop into your mind. It's your subconscious going like, hey, remember this?
And it's also sometimes a source of release. Right?
Explain.
I could be like, fuck you. Oh, I'd love to see that guy get fucking right? But if you got hit by a car, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm gonna go fucking help that guy.
yeah, true, yeah. Okay.
I don't actually, like, there are things where it's like, you know, I don't actually want that to occur. But I'm okay with thinking it because I know my thinking it isn't going to make it occur.
Scientists have developed an astonishing mind-reading machine that can translate what you are thinking into an instant display and instantly display it as text. They claim it has an accuracy rate of 90% or more and say it works by interpreting consonants and vowels in our brains. Researchers believe that the machine could one day help patients who suffer from conditions that don't allow them to speak or move. So, vegetables.
So it doesn't do images, audio, or video.
Oh, thank Christ.
It just does. It's just an analog fucking. The fuck is that thing? Marconi made it.
Morse code.
Telegraph.
Telegram.
I thought telegram was the paper one. Telegraph was the. No. Telegraph was the. You actually wrote it out. Telegram is the. What's that? I'm trying to fucking remember those old school fucking Canadian, right? Where's the signal coming from? Over the sea, my lad. Now here, have another hit of my.
I can see this being helpful in some sort of like medical use. That's fine, but don't
With
connect.
all new technology,
Yeah.
it is. But they're gonna. How hard would it be once that's scaled down to a smaller version? Pop that in some Google glasses.
First of all, you gotta convince me to wear Google glasses, and it's a cool thing to do.
That's just it. They don't really care about us anymore. We're past that prime.
Yeah.
They care about like the 10-year-olds down to my daughter because by the time this technology comes out, it's going to be marketed to them.
Yeah. No, and I get that.
And that fucking scares me. That's why I really like the fact that my daughter, she puts her tablet down herself. Like I rarely have to be like, "You're watching too much, honey." No, it's Daddy, come play, come draw.
Oh, well, that's nice. It's good
Yeah.
that she's able to unconnect or unplug.
Yeah, yeah. And she's honestly, without any, I don't think any real intervention on my part, she is becoming the kind of person that I hope that she would be. Right? Just a well-balanced, adjusted person.
Well, it's because of her parents.
Mother.
I can't take credit. I'm a piece of shit. Her mother, though, her mother's the shit right there.
Well, you know what? I make the same joke about when people are like, you know what? You and Dina did a good job with making that baby. It's all her. I just showed up.
I did my part. Now I'm just weekend relief.
Soon, though, I'm going to be able to have her for a whole week at a time.
That's so cool.
I'm looking forward to it. It's more just that I can't afford it.
Ah, okay.
All of my money goes out to bills and to pay for her and support payments. Like, I'm really lucky that Dina is as awesome as she is. I also have utter faith that she's not taking the money and like spending it on stupid shit.
No, she's
like, everything she spends it on is something to do for that little girl.
Dina's always been an incredible woman.
Oh, unbelievable! Like fucking, I still believe that maybe I did have a fucking Nelson Mandela before, and I was fucking Bruce Wayne fucked Scrooge McDuck rich and traveled, made a time machine, no, not made a time machine, that's right. I found a genie.
You found a genie.
Found a genie, but it was the caveat, right? Said, okay, you want to be happy? You can be fucking rich, but you're never gonna have love. Your children are gonna always hate you. Fucking, you're never gonna be happy. But you could be happy and have an amazing daughter, have an amazing mother for your daughter. I don't know about the love part. And but you'll never be rich.
Well,
and I think I was like, well, fuck, you're not gonna get richer than Bruce Wayne fucked Scrooge McDuck, so and I ain't happy. That's why I'm here. So I sure shit, I'm pretty fucking happy.
Wealth is measured in more than just bank accounts, right?
That is true, and I am fucking one of the richest fuckers on the planet.
That you are.
Just because of Dina and my little one and friends like you.
You're getting all sentimental on me. That bowl must have hit you pretty quick.
It makes you emotional.
Yes, it does. I can't really think of any a better way other than to wrap it up right there. There is something I want you to do for homework, and that's for you as well as anyone else, and that is to, if possible, find episodes of Reboot, the original series, the CGI Canadian iconic and landmark cartoon series. Find episode. Watch any episode.
That
of
would
Reboot.
be 3 seasons plus the 2 movies. 3 movies.
Whatever. Just watch anything because we're gonna bring up.
I may have all of them.
We're gonna bring up Reboot next episode because they didn't reboot.
User wins.
What they did was they didn't reboot. What they did was they took inspiration from Reboot, and we'll get into it next time. It's not gonna be good.
You got that right. As soon as you said it, we took a little bit from Reboot.
Yeah, exactly.
What you did was you bent Bob over Matrix.
Anyway, let's wrap this up.
Which is also the name of the android in Spaceballs.
Yes.
Played by Joan Collins? Or
Yes.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers. On the topic of rivers, you're listening to the WTF-ATTA podcast. You can find us on the website, WTF-ATTA.
Fucking rode that segue right off a cliff.
I could have sworn I had a pair before I'd leapt off.
Nope.
But fuck it, since we're on the way down, WTF.com is where you can find some of the old episodes, information on the cast and crew. You can send us an email at WTFATTApodcast@gmail.com. Allow myself to introduce myself. You can search for us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, iStream. There's no iStream, but Ustream is not where we stream. I'm done. I'm done.
Holy shit. You are fucking done in more ways than one. This has been the Flip Side, where we speak from the skull and nothing is ever held back. Joining me once again was Eli from WTF-ATTA. I'm JD, the Media Jack. You can follow us all over social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Mixer. Shut up. Let me get through this, you asshole.
I'm trying.
We usually go through and try to figure out some sort of title, but I already preemptively put a title to this episode, and I just simply called it Humboldt because there's really no other way of getting around it.
Damn, because I was really thinking reboot my balls.
But that's next episode.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, say goodbye, Eli.
Just Humboldt.
Humboldt. Goodbye. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Goodbye.